Hello class, today we are making special African masks or any kind of mask really, like these examples here, using real clay. So firing clay that everybody's gonna get a handful, a bowl of clay, which is gonna be plenty of materials to create your own special mask that we're gonna fire in the kiln as well as we're gonna paint it with glazes and second fire in the kiln. It takes about 10 days to dry to a biscuit, meaning that it's ready to fire. If I would put a clay in a kiln that is not ready yet, it would actually explode in the kiln. So we need to make sure that we have 10 days um, after before trying to fire any kind of clay. So we're gonna use our bowl of clay and also our reflection paper. So on your desk, you have your reflection paper where 5 is an A, 4 is a B, 3 is a C, 2 is a D, 1 is an F. You're gonna grade yourself, my score, self-grade, and a teacher's score and evaluation grade will be entered as well. You're gonna enter your name, your table number, your grade, name of the artwork, name of your mask, your artist statement and explanation and comments, and you're gonna tell me what you liked about the project, and I'm gonna leave you comments here, teacher comments. You're gonna answer questions about art show, if it shows care and neatness, if your art tools were used with care and properly, if you demonstrated goals and techniques during the class. These will be on the board so you can check if you learned them, meaning demonstrating them in your artwork, and if you showed effort, creativity, and originality. So you're gonna grade yourself from A to F if in those areas. When your clay is wet, you're just gonna leave your name under your reflection under your little tray. Once your clay is dry and painted, we can take it off the tray and we can place it on a table like this, paint it, and you can have your reflection under. Right now, we are gonna use our tray. So you have a tray on your table with your table number, for example, 5, and you have your bowl of clay. You also have a couple of tools. I was just playing with the clay and creating different ideas and masks, so my tools are a little dirty, but see, clay is wonderful because you just wrap a little bit and it falls off. Like if my hands are dirty, I can get extra clay by just rubbing my fingers like this, and special textures that I can add speckles to my mask and things like that. So special texture, I can get little shavings of clay as well on my clay. Um, I'm gonna use a brush, and not only I'm gonna use this brush to try to even out surfaces or create textures by dabbing down on the clay and adhere everything to the clay so it doesn't fall off. Like if there's little dots or little balls that you want to stay in place and stay in place. Um, so you can use the brush side, or if you want to make holes like the nostrils here, you can use the other side of the brush as well. You also might have like a little tool like this to help you, or you might have a toothpick to do the finer details. Um, so African masks were used ceremonially before big events. Shamans and dances were made in order to bring rain and in order to help the tribe survive famine or survive an enemy before war and things of that nature. So right now, you're gonna take your clay out, and there is a bucket for these where in the front of the class you can put your plastic bag inside of that bucket. So you can do that. Then you're gonna lay your clay down, not down yet, but take a little bit clay away for later, and then start thinning your clay between your hands like this, creating sort of like a face. And it should be only the thickness of an Oreo cookie. So make it that thickness right now. So by just pinching the clay around, and take any excess clay that is not like round or oval for your features. You can also dab a little bit. Do not dab on the table. Don't make too much noise. We are all here together. There's a lot of us, so it can be very loud if all of us are hitting the clay on the table hard. And also you would make it too thin, so don't do that. So I'm going to take some clay off on this side. And if I have the right consistency and I'm happy, I'm going to lay my mask down. I can also decide to like have the mask with eyes open, and I made the eye open so there's a hole for the eyes. I made it by my end of my brush, and I created a nice round eye area. Also, I can use a technique such as coiling, which is making a long coil. This is coil, so like a long snake, and I can create different textures with that. For example, attach a big smiling mouth like so, or I can make a thinner coil for my details, such as eyebrows. I can attach my eyebrows like that, or I could also create a nice nose with the coil and then pinch together to make a nice even nose. Another interesting technique is pushing, making sure the coil is attached with the end of the brush and just pushing down, making sure that it adhered correctly. This is called scorching, when you scorch an area and apply wet clay to it to make sure something adheres. So if I want to adhere a piece of cheek here, and I make sure I scorch both sides of my clay like so, and then I can adhere a little cheek. I can make a little indentations with my toothpick and decorate different face paintings or different features like lines or dots into the clay like so. Also, if you want an open mouth, you can use the same technique like we did, carefully not to tear the clay like this. So don't tear the clay, make sure that you have enough clay on the side, and then you're gonna open the mouth same way like we did with the eye. Give it a big smile, take the extra clay out carefully. Okay. You can also add a tongue that's sticking out. Make sure always that your mask is about Oreo cookie thickness. So if you lost the thickness, just add a little bit clay to it. So I went to the National Museum of Natural History in New York, and I saw all sorts of masks there, aboriginals from New Guinea or Australia or Native American or South American masks. And I got inspired by different projects, and some of them had all these little dots all around the masks that showed the tribe colors or the tribe special piercing, if the tribe had a special piercing. Like the ones in New Zealand all had different piercing and different symbol depending on what tribe you belong to. So you can do textures like such for your mask. Or if you want special textures, for example, I can teach you that, as I was showing you before, if your hands are still full of clay, you can get textures by rubbing your hands, and you're going to get little shavings all over your mask, which look really neat, like little spikies on your mask. You just clean your hands over your mask like so. It's going to fall everywhere. like that. And it's gonna give you lots of neat texture. It helps you also clean your hands between different parts that you are concentrating or working on. So before you're done, like if you're going to attach ears, for example, you can clean your hands like that and have that extra clay. If you want to make sure these shavings attach, what I would do is gently push down on the mask and keep them in place where you like them. That way they're gonna adhere when you're going to glaze your mask. The textures are still gonna be there and still gonna show. So that's another technique you can try. Also, a good idea is when we're gonna attach in class after everything is fired hair to it. If you do around the mask, if you make some holes, we can put some yarn, attach yarn through this, and your mask can have hair like made from paper, really thinly cut paper or thin yarn, and it can be very nice. So you can try doing that or make it slightly bigger by swirling on that plastic tray. It will complete that opening so that it's ready when it's firing. It's not going to break off or anything like that. And if it's too thin here, I would just add clay. You might have some excess clay around your tray. I would just add some or make a coil. And if you don't have enough space, just add space to it. Then make sure it's attached like this. And then try again with the holes. You can close these if you didn't have enough space, and you can make new ones. Or you can just adhere like little balls of clay like so. And each ball can have a little opening to attach yarns after it's fired too. So that would be nice. And if it's too thick, you can take some off. You can cut some off like so. And then make your holes for your hair for later. If you want basic shapes, for example, if you just want to have a triangle face, a triangle shaped nose, you can add more clay on the bottom and turn it into a triangle, just basic geometric shape. I saw in a museum a lot of those. You can give it a little texture, make it fun. Or you can add nostrils to your mask, like that. You can use your hands or your tools, whatever you like. If I wanted to attach a little tongue, I can put it in the mouth like this. Maybe use my little brush or my toothpick to create details. Maybe attach even teeth to your mask. Just be sure they're attached properly, because otherwise they're gonna fall off. So with those little details, you have to make sure you dab like that and make sure that all those little things are attached or they're gonna fall off. And all this extra clay that is around is never wasted, which I like about the clay. It's such a medium that really never wastes. You can always take the excess that you didn't use and use it somewhere else. You can make coils and create little spirals with that. Decorate your mask with it. I would run a toothpick through. I just saw the toothpick. Oh, here it is. I'll run a toothpick and it's gonna adhere it to the outer bottom part. See, if it lifts like that, it means it's not adhered well. So use your brush to push down on it and then keep carefully attaching that side. And like you see, you can keep working on those beautiful little details all class long. And we're gonna need about 7 to 8 minutes to clean up the classroom, wash our hands, up to 10 minutes. Some of you will need. So reserve that time for cleanup so that next class will get a clean classroom and they can get started on their clay projects with a clean table and so on and so forth. So have fun creating your special mask, work on your details and make it your own. And now is your turn. If you're ready, I will distribute the clay pieces and you can get started.